This is Moose, and you're watching Coffee with HDR. Let's go. Damn, that's good.
Alrighty. Good morning, and welcome back once again to Coffee with HDR. This is show number 91 for October the 8th, and this is 2022. In the news today, in the motorcycle world, we're going to be talking about. This is not a news show, we know better than that. But hello everyone. I'm going to go through all of the great people already in the chat room and say hello to you. And man, welcome back once again. It's good to be back in the studio. Many of you know that I've been on the road for 2 solid weeks. And, working out of hotel rooms is okay. But man, it's just nice to have all the equipment here, all the lighting and the better camera setup. And it's just good to be back in the studio. And let's go through some of these this morning. All right, we got HDAV Traveler in the house. Chuck Henson from South Dakota. Good morning, Chuck. Captain Ed's in there. The Dusty Chronicles. Debbie or Mallory, who says she's going to visit maybe today or tomorrow. I haven't seen my sister in about, I don't know, it's been about like 6 months. And she's been on holiday touring England and England and Ireland and all those great places across the pond. So she hasn't been around. Dean C, good morning to you. Bob Nelson, Goofy Bastard, how you doing, buddy? Brewing my pot of coffee and getting ready. Man, you got to have some good old coffee ready. All right, let's go down here. Paul, good morning. Pete's 1800s in the house. Pete's 1800s. I see you've been riding all 3 of your bikes now. Getting them all out of the garage, getting them wheels spun, man, and that's very, very important. HDAV Traveler, Russell is in the house. Bob Nelson. Ty, good morning from Tennessee. Harley Moonrider, HDAV Traveler, I think I got you. Smyrna Cowboy, how you doing? Be the Rider PA is in the Bikes and Blues Barbecue. And Be the Rider PA, you should probably be looking for Veterans Biker. He lives 15 miles away, and I know he's been there pretty much every day. Checking out his videos, I see that he's been riding around the Blues and Barbecues, which is in Arkansas. The Real Jackie Boy's in the house. Good morning from the top of the mountains. Payne's Rides, good morning. Waiting on temps to warm up so I can get out and do some tire changing. Man, that has to be a great day. That's a lot of fun changing tires. Let's see who else we got in here. Rocky J, Harley 103, good morning. Old Man Roland's in the house. Good morning to you, sir. And Old Man Roland's been producing so many videos and so many different motorcycles. Check him out and see all the different bikes that he is riding. Let's see. Have a great time at Bikes and Barbecues to Be the Rider PA. So, it's been a very interesting week, and thank you so much, man. I've been getting so many emails and texts and chats and Instagram messages. HDR, are you okay? Is everything all right? We haven't seen no new videos on HDR Adventures. And everything's just fine. Life is rolling along, and as many of you know, the education world does take its toll on you. Between that and the rain and the weather, can't get the bikes out of the garage. There's 1,000,001 excuses, and I'm not trying to make an excuse, but anyway, I haven't been turning the wheels because life has been dragging me in other directions, and I've had a lot to do, man, a lot to do. Between doubling up classes in college, between writing lesson plans, getting ready for this big inspection from the state at the school. We're trying to get ready for that, and that's been taking a lot of toll on me. So, redesigning a classroom, there's so many things going on. It's just unbelievable. By the time I get home, I can hardly get to the recliner before I pass out. And that's just the way life goes, right? Busting out the heated gear, full day riding tomorrow, Ty says. That's great. Lovely Luella, good morning to everyone. Stephen, good morning to you. Glad to have you on board here in the house this morning. So yeah, it's really, really, really nice to be back here in the studios. surrounded by everything like my custom dynamics friends in the background there. And it's just easier to broadcast from the studio than it is from a hotel room. And let me tell you about that. I am so glad that I was able to broadcast last Saturday from the hotel. We had such great internet. Then we moved, and we moved to, is it Bedford? No, Bradford. Bradford, PA? Bedford, PA. I don't know. Where the Zippo lighter factory is. So we were there, and Be the Rider, PA, I'm sure can correct me on that one. It's one of the Bedfords or Bradfords or whatever. And so we moved to this new hotel on, that was on Saturday. Yeah, Saturday we left. We went to this new hotel. So we got to the new hotel, and I checked the internet services, and it was absolutely crap. So I'm glad we were able to do that Saturday morning and not have to worry about it Sunday morning because we really didn't have good internet. Pete's 1800 said heated gear. He don't even know what that is because he lives in sunny, beautiful, sunny downtown Florida. You don't need heated gear in Florida. You just don't need heated gear in Florida. Smyrna Cowboy had a great visit from Mike Hilly 7 to Moose last week. If you didn't watch that visit, check out Smyrna Cowboy's video. I'm waiting for part 2. Part 1, Smyrna, it just ended. It's like you guys were talking. It's like, gone, man. Moose and Mike Killy 7 are on a cross-country trip from the East Coast. They're out on the West Coast playing around, and now I've been watching, if you watch their Instagram feeds, they are currently working their way back towards the East Coast at this point. So I don't know how long a vacation they had, 1 week or 2 weeks or whatever, but it's great to be able to tour on your motorcycles, and I'm sure they're having a great time. The videos have been a lot of fun. HDAV, I live in Texas. We're heated. What's heated gear? HDAV Travelers. What is heated gear? Many of us in the north, we have to have these jackets, these pants, these gloves that plug into the bike. I don't see her on there.
She's on there. She said you skipped her.
I didn't see her. Let's see here. Let's go back through. Somebody's saying that one of my daughters is on here. I'm trying to see where you're at. Let's see. Oh, Rachel, there are you. There you are. There you are. Good morning. I got you. I got you in there. Very, very good. And Rachel's coming to us live in a living color from Somerset, Pennsylvania, high on top of the mountains. And, I love when she calls us in the wintertime and said, we got the snowblower out. We got like 3 feet of snow. I'm like, 3 feet? And yeah, they get a lot of snow in Somerset. And, let's see, just ordered a new winter Sudoku jacket, Bob said. That's great. That's a good thing. Pete's 1800 says, I do have heated grips on all the bikes, and the wing has a heated seat. Man, a heated seat would be fantastic. Let me tell you, I'd love to have a heated seat, and it's just something I never looked at. I did look at a new seat. I looked at a new Corbin seat last night for the Himalayan, and when I looked at the price, it was $620. I decided that's never going to happen. Why do seats have to be so expensive? I don't know. Is it the engineering that goes into the seat? Is it the cloth? Is it the leather? I don't know. But is it just us, the American motorcyclist community, that says, hey, we'll pay $1,000 for a seat? So everybody just raises them, right? Makes them absolutely crazy priced. And people pay it. I am not one of them people. Let's see here. Going through the chat room, even though I live in Texas, you do have heated gear. HAV Traveler says he does have heated gear because when he comes up north to visit us, he might have to wear that. No, come in the summertime. Toby Northern's in the house. Good morning. WS Keys on 3. Don't pay a ransom. I escaped. Hello, everyone. Good to see you there, for sure. Poor buddy. Ty, they hid your comment here. Let me show it. There we go. I don't see where that's a bad comment. I'm getting heated gear this year, wearing 4 layers and it's getting old. Yeah, the one thing about heated gear I can tell you is you don't have to layer up anymore. I put my heated jacket on, my heated pants under my jeans, and the heated gloves on, and you can just wear a light jacket. I usually wear my mesh jacket over the heated jacket. and it's absolutely fine. It feels like it's 70 degrees outside. People look at you when it's 35 and they think you're absolutely an idiot for being on a motorcycle, and they don't know. They don't realize that I'm not. It's absolutely comfortable in that suit. So, but you know, I used to wear layers, 4 layers, and then a snowsuit on top of that. And you look like that little boy. Remember that little boy in that movie? What was it? The Christmas Story? But Mom, I can't move. I can't move, Mom. I can't put my arms down. That's kind of what you feel like when you layer up on a motorcycle, right? Don't layer up. Buy the heated gear. It's worth every single nickel you're going to spend for it. Let's see. You can buy it. Let's see. Good to see you back in the HDR studios. Toby says, yes, Toby, I said that earlier. It is unbelievably sensational to be back in the HDR studios. Last weekend, as many of you know, myself and Mrs. HDR decided to take our our anniversary weekend, I guess. Well, I guess it could have been from your honeymoon. We were married the same weekend. And we hit the road. She had this big itinerary set up, and it was absolutely amazing. We had a great time. So let me tell you a little story here, and I don't have any pictures to show you. I don't even know how I would show you pictures over the stream. But we went to Elk County, Pennsylvania, and that was the highlight. That was the day on our anniversary. Miss HR said she planned it out, and she decided that we are going to go to Elk County, Pennsylvania. So we're following the GPS, right? Yes, I will be visiting during the summer. I need to break from the heat. HDR Traveler says, okay, good. Yep. Layers is nice. Oh, less layers. Either RPA said that less layers is nice in the morning. You could be a lot more comfortable when you ride. So back to the Elk County. So last weekend, Miss HR said Sunday, we were taking a little detour going home. It's an 18-mile detour. We started driving, and we're driving, and we're riding along there, and the GPS says, turn right. And I looked at this road. I'm like, are you serious? It was this gravel road that went down over the hill. I'm like, well, okay, so let's go ahead down that road. Went down this road. We were on a mud road. A mud road. So we're riding through the mud, and we're looking around. We come up on this little hillside. There's a big sign. Do not enter. You will be shot on sight. Do not pass this sign. Guys, there was nowhere to turn around. So what did I do? I drove up in the guy's driveway, and I turned around. I figured if you're going to shoot, at that point I had the car backed up, and the shot play would have hit Miss HDR's side, not mine. So I could have drove away pretty fast. So, and he probably would have missed, I would think, unless he used a scatter gun. You know what a scatter gun is? Yeah, shotgun. Bad news. So we got out of there. We drove back up over the top of these railroad tracks, which was like a 90-degree incline. Whoop, back down over the hill, and I scooted back down the muddy road, back to the gravel road, and back onto the hardball. So we drove another, 10 miles. We decided that, whoops, we might have went too far. The GPS quit working. Whoop, no more GPS. Turned around, went back, this big sign. To see the elk go up this road, 5 miles. So we hit that road, and we went up the top of the hill, 5 miles up on top of this hill. Sure enough, there's this big parking lot that says, view the elk here. So we pulled in this parking lot. We walked over. Talking to this very nice man that came over and said, oh, hey, bud, did you see any elk over there? And I said, no, sir, we didn't see any elk out here. There's no elk out here. Now, granted, this was 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, right? The elk are supposed to come out early in the morning and later in the evening, just like deer, right? That's when they feed. So he says, well, bud, I got some pictures right here. And he pulls out his phone and he says, look at this big elk. Look at that elk. It's a big bull elk. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool, man. Yep. All you got to do, get back in your car. He said, go out the end of this thing here, turn right, go up top of the hill. Look for all the cars. Pull in there. It's the right-hand side. Turn right. And walk up this little hill. Well, we did just that. We walked up the top of this little hill, and this guy's standing there with this camera. And this camera was so massive. This lens was so big. I said, dude, that is some serious hardware. And he was a very nice guy. He spoke a little broken English. He said, yeah, do you want to see the big elk? I said, yes. He said, big elk over there, in the tree line. I'm looking at his tree line. I said, I can't see any elk. What are you talking about? But he's got this big lens, right? I thought he would let me look at the camera, like through the lens and see. No, he didn't. He said, go right up on that tree line. He said, if you go up in them pine trees up on that hill and go to the back of the elk, you can see it. myself and Mrs. HDR had no problem doing that, right? So we go up this hill. We climb to the top of this hill and we get up there. And it's just high grass. I mean, high weeds, like up to my knees. So I start traipsing through there, right? I get about halfway through. Mrs. HDR said, "Hey," and I said, "What?" She goes, "What about the rattlesnakes?" We're halfway through this grass. Now you're telling me about rattlesnakes? Now I'm kind of petrified. Now I'm like, walk a little step at a time. Like, really, if you see a rattlesnake, you better run, right? Like, take off. Get out of there. I'm walking real slow, listening for that. Well, luckily we didn't hear any. So we got to the top of this hill and we got to the tree line. And what did I do? Where did timber rattlesnakes like to hide out? In the timber. Where did good old HDR go? Into the woods. So I walked in the woods. There's a guy like big down. Right? He's pointing big elk down there. So I walk over to this guy. I said, "Yeah, what are you talking about?" He said, "Look down there." I'm looking. I'm like, I can't see a damn thing. You know, my eyesight's not what it used to be. You know, so I can't see anything down there. Dusty Chronicles, good morning. Russell, good morning to you. I see you just popped in there. Just telling a little story here about last weekend, about our anniversary weekend. So I'm in this tree line, right? And I'm creeping. I got my 35 millimeter camera. I'm creeping down, walking. I'm walking real slow. And I'm and I see 3 big elk with their big horns laying together. Now, this is the phenomenon that people say does not happen. Males do not hang out together in the woods. They like to be with a couple of their girlfriends, a couple doe, right? They do not stay together. For some reason, these 3 guys were hanging out. And I think they were comparing their notes like, "Hey, bub, did you see the couple doe up on the other ridge there? She's pretty hot. I'm going to go up there and, show her my horns." So I'm looking at these big horned elk. I'm taking my pictures. I'm trying to get closer. Mrs. HDR is up on the hill going, and she's like whispering, "I can't hear you." Wind's going, whoosh, whoosh. The wind's blowing, right? I can't hear her. I can't hear her. So I sneak back over to her. I said, "Yeah, what do you want?" She goes, "Don't get within 100 yards. The sign said they will kill you or they could trample you to death." I'm like, "Oh, now you tell me." After I was just 20 feet away from these big elk. So what do? We snuck over the other side and we seen the biggest, largest elk I've ever, the only elk I've ever seen is in the zoo, right? And this thing had massive horns. If you walk far enough away, it looked like tree branches. That's how big these horns were. And we're within like, I don't know, 20, maybe 20 yards, 10 yards maybe. We're looking, and he's just laying there, He's got 2 of his doe with him. He's just laying there looking around, at the trees and wondering what the day has to give him today. The elk doesn't want to move around. It was a little, it was windy and he ain't going anywhere and he's looking and he spotted us, and anything he did, he kind of tilted his head a little bit so we can get his good side so we can take pictures. And it was just awesome. So we came back home. We called our daughter. Rachel, who's in the chat room. Everybody say hello, Rachel. Type in there Rachel and say hello, Rachel. So we called Rachel and said, "Hey, look, we were up there." They were just up there a week ago. So Miss HDR told her, "Yeah, we were within like 20 feet. 20 feet! Oh my God!" She was so nervous. She said, "You could have got killed." And I said, "Yeah, that's true, And then the end of the day, I kind of thought about this, and I thought, well, if they start charging us, and they're going to, the only thing you got to do is outrun your partner, right? And that's kind of sad to say, right? Anyway. Once the GPS had to get me off the exit in Tampa and had to get right back on the same exit. Maybe it thought wanted to be downtown Tampa. See them every time in the Southern Smoky Mountain Park. Pete's 1800 says, rattlesnakes warn you. Okay, I'm trying to get through this chat room here with that story. So rattlesnakes warn you, copperheads do not. Give HDR a thumbs up, everybody. Yeah, thanks for these likes, man. 41 concurrent viewers at the present moment. So give us a thumbs up there. We would definitely appreciate that. Let's see. I was able to get some pictures and videos of elk in Cherokee, North Carolina. You know what? I did see some elk in Cherokee, North Carolina. When I was there with Bob and Colin, We were riding through. The elk was actually walking across the road where you come off the top of the mountain. You come down into Cherokee, North Carolina. You were right. I did see some there. Not as close up as what these were. So you need some muck boots for rattlesnake protection. Well, I had tennis shoes on. So we came back out, right? And we got back out to the other side once we took our pictures. My money is on Mary when it comes to the foot race. Ty from Tennessee says, I bet you Mary would outrun me. Ty, you're probably right. So we came back across the field. This guy standing on this road over there, and he goes, man, I don't know you two, but you two are the bravest people I've ever seen in my life. And I said, sir, why is that? He goes, well, he said, this is rattlesnake country, man. He said, there could have been rattlesnakes in that field. I said, oh, I didn't see any. I said, or I didn't hear any. And I said, besides, his wife was talking. Now, Harold, I told you there's not going to be no rattlesnakes in that field because rattlesnakes this time of day, noon, she said they would want to get on some rocks. And she said they want to go out there and be warming themselves, stretching out on the rocks. The rattlesnakes aren't going to be curled up underneath the weeds and be cold in the wet. I don't know if this to be true or not. So, Harold looks at me and he goes, I said, no, this is what I said. I said, look, guys, I said, the way I look at it, there's two guys over there in the wood lines right now, and they're in shorts. If a rattlesnake wants to strike anybody, wouldn't he strike somebody in shorts and get right to the skin? I got jeans on. I'm pretty safe. She goes, I don't think it works that way. I said, I don't know. But we didn't see any rattlesnakes, thank goodness, for sure. I mean, we were at the Pennsylvania Grand Canyon also Saturday. If you've never been there, I suggest you get your motorcycles and you take a nice ride up there. It's beautiful country. And I've never seen it before. We've read about it. We've talked about it. We've heard about it. Good morning, Badgers. Glad to have you on board there with us this morning. Be the Rider PA has seen some elk in North Carolina. Congratulations on the retirement, Be the Rider PA. Yes, everybody says congratulations to Be the Rider PA. Everybody's saying good morning to Rachel, who is watching the show here. And it's great to have everybody on board there this morning. Pink's Adventures, good morning to you. Glad to have you on board there. Just checking people out here, seeing who's in here. So yeah, that was interesting when he told us that. So we got back down. We got in the car. It was a little chilly. I mean, it was chilly enough where you had to have. I had a flannel shirt on, and Miss HR had her big jacket on up there. But it's interesting. And maybe if you go to Elk County, maybe try not to walk up on the elk. I don't know. They didn't bother us. I think they're so tame, not tame, but they're so used to people being around that it doesn't really matter to them if there's somebody there or not. So that's the big thing. They don't really care at all at that point. But so anyway, let's think what else has been going on here this week. This week has been one of those weeks, and trying to keep my hat straight. Bronco Ride, good morning. Glad to have you on board there this morning. Oh, what else happened? What happened last weekend? So last weekend, if you haven't been watching my other two buddies, so we know Mike and Moose, Mike Killy 7 and Moose, they traveled out towards the west. I think they went to the Grand Canyon, and they're working their way back east now. Mike does a lot of live streaming from his phone. He loves to live stream from his phone. And, it's cool because you see exactly where they're at any given moment. You'll know where they're at. So if you're a fan of theirs, and I've been a fan of both of theirs for many, many years, you will know that if they're in your local area, maybe you can meet up with them and see them. So they did go and see Smyrna Cowboy, and I thought that was awesome. If you're taking a trip and you're riding past one of your YouTube buddies, try to make a little detour if you have to and stop and visit them, check them out, and make sure you see everybody. And I think Smyrna Cowboy's video was awesome also. So my other two buddies were Roguelite Andy and Mr. McStash. So last Saturday, Roguelite Andy had a post up, I'm going to hell. And I'm like, well, I can understand that. If you know Roguelite Andy as personal as I do, probably will be. But I thought, no, wait, he's not saying that literally. He's taking his motorcycle and driving to hell. I thought, wow, that's awesome. So the only place that I knew that hell was actually a town, is in Michigan, next to Bodine 52, right? So it's somewhere in that area where Bodine 52 lives. So Road Glide Andy posted a video last night or yesterday I watched, and it was titled, How Early Do You Get Up for a Motorcycle Ride? This guy got up at 3 in the morning and he left his house at like 5. It was 5 a.m. and he was on the road. So he had to drive 2 hours or ride 2 hours to meet Mr. McStash. Then they were heading north to Michigan because they wanted to get to Michigan by noon, he said. So he can meet up with Bodine 52. And I talked to Bob last weekend after their ride. And apparently they rode 7 hours together. And they found some dirt roads, and they coerced Bodine 52 into riding these dirt roads with them. So there's some cool videos coming out of that. And guys, I give you a lot of credit, man. That is a lot of riding. The first day, I think, well, I mean, I did that 500-mile challenge, so that wasn't bad. But I think the first day, Road Glide Andy had 589 miles. That was getting to Michigan, riding with Bob for, 7 hours, wherever they were riding, and getting back to their hotel. So it's really, really cool that you can go out and do that. And I think it's definitely a good time, a lot of fun. So I give those guys a lot of credit for doing that ride. Mr. McStash does have a video up on his channel of them, the three of them. They're all on comms. They're all talking, and they got Bob out there in the dirt on his Road Glide Limited, which is very interesting. I thought he would have took the. I thought personally he probably would have took the Road King when you're hitting dirt, but he took the big baby out, and they all did really well. So it was really cool dirt roads to ride. But yeah, it was a good deal. It was a great video, Smyrna Cowboy. It was a good video. WS Keys on 3. Maybe you should turn your ball cap around so it makes your right eye look like it has a shiner. Really? Nah. There's no shiner there. Anyway, that's because I got my studio light on this side, like on that side of me. So that's why it's casting a shadow down across my nose. Probably should have my other studio light on the other side, and it would give me direct, perfect lighting. Maybe I'll do that next week. I'll have to look into that. I don't think it'd be too hard to figure out. From what I hear, Bodine put training wheels on. Jockey Voice said Bodine put training wheels on his bike. I don't know. I don't know that to be the case, but you know what? They did it. They were out there riding the dirt on their, on their touring motorcycles. And I told Bob, I said, he doesn't need an adventure bike, man. Just get that bike out. I can tell you definitely Road Glide Andy does not need an adventure bike. He was trained personally by Be the Rider PA. And Be the Rider PA's motorcycle has no limitations. It will go where he tells it to go. And he will not allow the bike to dictate what he's riding on. I've been with him on now gravel roads for about 6 miles. And I tell you what, he just turned the throttle and go. He doesn't care. Tar and chip roads here in Pennsylvania, I've been with Be the Rider PA on, and I'd be about 4 miles behind him. He just goes. So, and he trained Road Glide Andy the same way. He just, whatever, it doesn't matter where they go to take their motorcycles. That's probably one of the questions I have for you this morning. If you're watching this later on, recording, I got a bunch of people that watch this live stream later because they're in different parts of the country, different parts of the world, right? Different time zones. The question I have maybe for the comments, I don't get a lot of comments on these videos so much because they're live and we kind of do the chat room thing, right? But one of the comments I have is, what have you ever ridden on dirt roads or long gravel roads on your touring motorcycle? Maybe you can tell me about that a little bit. Talk about that a little bit and tell me what your experiences were. I'm sure the first time you did it was probably white-knuckled. First time I did it, I was white-knuckled. Now when you take, the adventure bike out, when you take the Himalayan out, I just crack the throttle and go. As fast as the bike will go, you can go with it because it's going to hang in there and do what you want it to do. The touring bike sometimes does what it wants to do. And I don't even know if that's to be the case. I think the touring bikes, honestly, I think the fear factor there is the weight. The Himalayan, you're looking at 400 pounds. My Road Glide Ultra, I'm looking at 900 pounds. So that's what? That's an extra 500 pounds, right? If my math is right. That extra 500 pounds is a little terrifying. And I don't even know what it is. Is it because if we drop it, we got to pick it up? Well, I've seen real little women picking up touring bikes. So you can find the videos on YouTube. They're on there. You know, where you sit down, you turn the handlebar, you sit on the seat, and you walk it up, right? And you walk backwards and you stand the bike back up. So it could be done for sure. Probably easier right now than the Himalayan, because the Himalayan, I didn't put any crash bars on it yet. So it's going to be like when Pete was out with his... Pete was out with the Pan America for the very first time, and he dropped it on some loose dirt. I mean, no fault of Pete's. The dirt was there, and the back tire just slid out, and the bike fell over. He didn't have any crash bars, and he told us personally that it took him a lot of effort to get that bike back up. That's why it now has crash bars on it, because it will lay at a 45-degree angle. That's the idea, so you can just kind of stand it right back up. Let's see here. Mr. McStash in the house. Good morning. I gave you guys a lot of credit this past weekend. You went over a mile on dirt too. Yeah, you guys, man, you guys did some amazing riding, Mr. McStash. And I was telling everybody how amazed I am that you guys made that trip. You know, you decided on a Saturday morning, like, let's go to Michigan, you know, and away you went. So it was a good ride. I know you guys hit some rain, had some bad weather. The Road King and Lux do okay, but the tires make it extremely sketchy, Old Man Roland says. And I think, Old Man Roland, I think you're hitting the nail on the head. I think you got that figured out. It's for sure, it's the tires, right? The tires on our street bikes are pretty smooth. When you get on an adventure bike, you get those knobby tires, and they kind of dig in a lot more. I think it's just, it gives you more confidence, for sure. Got HDR in 3 miles down the mountain this summer. Watch Ty in a video. Oh, yeah, Ty's video is awesome. If you watch Ty's video of us riding that gravel road at VAM 22, that Be the Rider PA took us on to add some adventure to our lives. Ty's video is an awesome video to watch. I had so much fun watching it. I laughed so much. It's just hilarious when he's talking on his bike, you know, and he's looking at me, and he's saying, look how HDR is handling that gravel. I guess not bothering him a bit. Little did he know, in my helmet, Ty, it was bothering me a lot a bit. You know, to have that touring bike up on top of that mountain. But we did it. We were very successful. Everybody made it. Bob Nelson was with us, you know, and Bob had no trouble at all. And he was just cruising along there too. So it was something the four of us will always have, that memory, that story. That's what you want. You always want to have that storyline, you know, and that's what makes motorcycle trips, guys. You know, riding the highway for 400 miles together, the three of you, and you're chit-chatting on your Sennas, and that doesn't really make a story. There's no storyline there. There's nothing to remember. You know, you went from point A to point B. But, man, you hit some dirt roads. You ride some back roads of America. Hit the twisties. You know, ride the back of the dragon, the tail of the dragon, you know, the head of the dragon. Ride those together. Like when we rode the Snake, there was Jackie Boy was with us there. Lovely Luella was with us there. Their buddy Sean was with us. And it was myself. It was Bronco Ride, Pete's 1800, and Be the Rider PA. And I tell you what, we have a ton of stories. That road, the Snake in Tennessee, is way better than the Tail of the Dragon. But it doesn't get any publicity, so guess what it doesn't get? Traffic. There's no traffic on that road. You can ride it and just enjoy your day, man. And we had a perfect time. And I'm sure these guys will agree that was with me there, you know, that we had a really, really good time. And that's when I noticed right away, and I put tons of emphasis, and I told Jackie Boy's wife, who's lovely Luella, who's been riding a very short time, I said, you are riding like a veteran, man. It just blew me away. Like, no fear. Turn the throttle and go. And hitting them roads, and we had such a great time. And it's fun to be out there with newer riders, because even myself, I mean, I've never been on the Snake, and nobody else in our group has been on the Snake. So, yeah, you're going to downshift in some of the bends. That's okay. You don't have to ride. You know, well, if you're Be the Rider PA and you're riding with Be the Rider PA, don't keep up with him. I'm telling you. This is my word of advice for you, right? This is going to save your life, probably. So he's going to take off, and he's going to be gone. He'll go so you won't even hear him on the sentence. Don't worry about. Hey, Jim. He's gone. Forget him, okay? Because you're going to catch up to him eventually, and you're going to be sure he's going to be okay. I've never seen Jim like in a tree line or over a mountaintop, or because he's a rider. You know, he's one of these ace riders, and I always tell him that. I appreciate riding with him because when you ride with him, you're going to become a better rider. It's just the way it works. But don't try to keep up with him. Stay away from Jim. Harley girl, good morning. Glad to have you on board there with us this morning. It's always nice to have you in the house. Best tip ever. Mastering dirt and gravel will make you a better rider. Old man rolling. Absolutely. You are so correct on that. I have noticed since I bought the adventure bike, since I got the Himalayan and I started riding some gravel and I started getting out there on some dirt roads, when I get on the touring bike, it is a lot different. I have so much more confidence. And I have as much confidence as I want to take the touring bike out on some of the gravel roads I've been on Himalayan just to see if I can do it. And I'm sure I can, right? Because I have confidence, right? See, the real Jackie boy said the snake was fun. Pete's 800 said the snake was fun. I want to keep up with Be the Rider PA and Pete's 1800. I would give you guys, like, you know, you guys, Pete's 1800, the real Jackie boy, you know, Bronco ride, and I would give you guys, a Ty from Tennessee, more chances of keeping up with Be the Rider PA than I can. I cannot. It's to the point where when we go riding, myself and Miss HDR get riding with Be the Rider PA and his wife, we always ask him, as long as we can lead, because you're not going to keep up with them. So Miss HDR feels more comfortable if we're leading and we're setting the pace. So that usually works out really, really well. But we have ridden with him many, many thousands of miles. We've been together riding, and he's an excellent rider. You know, back in the high school days, we both went to high school at the same time, both in the same grade, actually, because we're both the same age, believe it or not. And he's retired now, and I have 12 years to work. But I would have never known this young guy, you know, that I knew in high school even liked motorcycles. You know, maybe he didn't when he was in high school, because now it's just, I don't know, it's just like part of his DNA, you know, and that's awesome. So. And I'm sure it's part of many of our DNAs. We love motorcycles. We love riding, you know. It kills me every day I come home and I see the motorcycle sitting in the garage. It's like, and it's going, please take me out for a ride. Please take me out for a ride. And I'm like, come on, motorcycle. I want to, but it's raining. I don't care about the rain. I'm waterproof. I'm like, I'm not waterproof. And, or I'm tired. It's been a long day, or I got to come in the house and write lessons for the next day and get ready for the next day of class. And the motorcycle doesn't care. It's like, I just want to go for a ride. It's to the point now. I have to take the Road Glide out. I have to get some gas treatment in because it's starting to get very cold in the garage. I don't leave it heated all the time, all winter long, because it would cost me a fortune because it's not insulated. I only turn the heat on when I'm out there. So, and I do have a garage video to do. I have an install video that I have to do for the dealer that sent the part. You know, so I got to get that done. And like I said, the past 2 weekends I've been away. The part came in like 2-3 weeks ago. So I'm sure the dealer is you know, gung-ho and wants me to get this video out to them. So I do have to get that done. So that would be a garage video. When I work in the garage, I do turn the heat on. I got one of these big, it's called a hot dog heater, right? It's gas heater that hangs. You've probably seen it on some of the videos. It hangs up in the ceiling, and man, it heats that garage like nobody's business. I love the heater. With that off-road experience, take an advanced rider skills course. You'll probably have a ton of more fun with different experiences. Toby, I've tried to take advanced courses for my for the touring bike, and everyone in Pennsylvania, like, every place is not offering. They offer the basic rider course. They used to offer the advanced rider course, ARC, and they're free from the state. But there hasn't been any instructors to instruct those courses. So, but I would love to do that. And it's basically the BRC course, but you're on your own bike. And, you know, you get confidence on your own motorcycle and slow speed skills. So I would love to do that, and I've been waiting for one to come up. So Be the Right PA rocks. He's a riding hero. He's good at being a road captain. That's because Be the Rider PA's most adult life has been a road captain. He leads so many rides, and he's in so many organizations, and you know, so I mean, I can't say enough about the guy. A lot of people say on my videos, "Oh, you talk too much about Be the Rider PA." Well, he's a good person. He's a good guy. He's one of those guys that I believe in for motorcycle stuff. If I need advice, I call him. I pick up the phone. I'm like, "Hey, Jim, I'm going to replace my back tire with a Michelin Commander 3. What do you think?" Well, those Michelin Commander 3s only get about 8,000 miles, and it's going to be shot. You might not want to buy that there, HDR. And he tells me, he's my advice king. Miss HDR said that. I tell you guys all the time, anybody, and he always laughs, anybody that can sit in the wintertime, tear their whole motor apart, look at all the parts, he cleans them, he oils them, and he greases them up, and he puts all them parts back in that engine, and he builds that engine back out, He looks like Kevin Baxter, I said, "Why don't you film this stuff?" He's like, "No, this is my personal time with my motorcycle." And he doesn't want to do any recordings of it. So that's why he doesn't do any recordings of that video. Here's another one. It tried to hide. Here you go. HDAV Traveler said, "Be the Rider PA is a badass." And he is. He really, really is. Good morning, Scooter and Stickers. Nice to have you on board there this morning with us. Toby Northern. Where's the mid-program commercial? Oh, Toby, let's stop for a commercial. A station identification here at the HDR Studios in southwestern Pennsylvania. Please stand by.
This is Moose, and you're watching Coffee with HDR. Let's go. Damn, that's good.
I watched, Touring Midwest, right? Touring Midwest, Andrew. I watch his videos a lot, and there's a lot of stuff that I've watched over the course of several years with him. He's done a lot of camping. He has a lot of camping sponsors. And everything he shows, I tend to buy for moto camping. We've been moto camping one time. Since then, I've probably purchased another, $300 worth of moto camping gear. Have we been back out? No, we haven't. But it's on my radar now. I don't want to do it now. It's too cold. But anyway, I'm getting to here. We bought a portable French press. You pour water in it. He showed you. You make that coffee. I've never had a French press coffee, but I heard they are extremely good. Good to the last drop, right? So that's something that I would love to make some coffee here. Let's see. I did an adventure riding course a couple weeks ago in the Pan America. Great learning experience. Pete, I would love to find one of those here. Be the Rider PA said, "It's killing me. He's in tears." Oh, you're in tears because of the motor teardowns, or you're in tears because I said you're a good person? Because you are. Oh, wow, it's like my hubby. Only the frame sometimes when I walk in the garage. Harley girl says, yeah. Yeah, sometimes, you got to tear the bike down sometimes, oil them up, get them all ready to go, grease them down there. I enjoy that Jim is the road captain. I always have to go and relaxing, not in charge for the change. Real Jackie Boy said, yeah, Jim is and Miss HR would tell you, he's a human GPS. This guy, man, it will take you on roads. You're like, how'd you know about this road? He goes, well, man, I rode this road, 10 years ago. I was out this way and I found this road. I can't remember where I rode yesterday, but he can remember 10 years ago. So it's awesome. Very, very awesome. I hear HD is making a smaller version of Pan America. I'm very interested. I got to sell the CVO. Ty from Tennessee says, Ty has this beautiful CVO for sale, guys. Go watch the video of his advertisement. I'm not going to tell you anything about it. I can just tell you it's for sale, and I can tell you it's worth whatever he wants for it. Just give him the cash. Take a satchel of cash there and be like, here you go, Ty. This is for your CVO. Get the fob, jump on that bike, and drive home as fast as you can, because he probably gave it away. He's selling it for about what he put on it in accessories. So I can tell you that for sure. I've ridden with the guy. I know him personally. I've been right next to that motorcycle live in a living color. I've touched it. He never let me sit on. He's like, I said, well, can I sit on a Ty? You're sitting this bike, and I'm going to knock you out. He said, I said, oh, I'm sorry, buddy. Ty's a strong guy, big guy. Don't mess with Ty from Tennessee. So he wouldn't let me sit on his bike. He probably would let you take it for a ride. He did offer for me to, when I see him next time, to take the Lowrider ST out, and I cannot wait for that. That's going to be absolutely awesome. He's going to have to fall back and he might have to ride the Road Glide a little bit, but I think he'll be okay with it. Because who doesn't love a Road Glide? I mean, that's like one of the most awesome bikes Harley Davidson ever made was a Road Glide. So who doesn't love a Road Glide? But they are going to make a smaller version of the Pan America. I think it's going to be, I think somebody can correct me, I think it's going to be a 750. And, what kind of happened with the Pan America, and I listened to Pete's 1800 because I got to live with the guy for almost a week at VAM, and we got to talk a lot. And it's different. When we're on YouTube and we're making YouTube videos and you're watching us out chit-chatting, right? It's kind of a one-way conversation. But when you get to sit down with somebody, like the real Jackie Boy and lovely Luella and Sean and everybody that was at the house with us, Be the Rider PA coming in, and us sitting there and just, over a beer at night and a slice of pizza, you can learn so much about people, right? That's what you want to learn, the person. Your videos are great. I love watching videos, but it is a one-way conversation. You're chit-chatting about something. We're trying to make it a two-way conversation, but really, I guess through the comments, you kind of got that. But you get what I'm saying. But when you sit with somebody and break bread with them, Old Man Roland just had a meetup. I wish I could have went, and I hope Old Man Roland, listen, I hope you have one next year, maybe in June or July, because that's when I'm off, and maybe I can make it. But he had a under 5 or 600 cc motorcycle meetup, and they had a nice turnout, a lot of nice guys, like-minded people, and they were able to get to know each other. That's what it's all about, right? That's what motorcycles is about. But when I was with Pete, I learned one thing, that the Pan America is a very heavy bike to be a starter adventure bike. And then I learned from this other guy, Mini Moto. I don't know if you watch Mini Moto. Very interesting guy. He does a lot of work on his motorcycle. He puts a lot of aftermarket parts on that a lot of people are saying, these aren't Harley Davidson parts. I probably wouldn't buy them. I like people like that. I like people that go off course a little bit and try to find a cheaper quality part for your motorcycle. It doesn't have to be branded Harley Davidson. But Minimoto bought a Pan America, and he said he's never been off-road with it, and he doesn't plan on doing that. So he's riding as a tour bike, which I guess is perfectly fine. I guess it does a dual role. So I went to Harley last week. Not sure if I'm going with that. Bob Nelson said, Bob, you need to buy a Road Glide. Listen, Road Glide. Road Glide. That's what you need to buy, Road Glide. Any Road Glide. I don't care which one you buy. Or buy the Lowrider ST. It's built like a Road Glide. It's got the fixed fairing, I think. Ty, does it have a fixed fairing? I think that's a fixed. It looks like a fixed fairing. I don't know if it is or not. Be the Rider PA and Harley Day Rider are the kings of cool. HDAV Traveler. Thanks, buddy. But I don't know if you look on Wikipedia if you'll find cool next to our names. But thank you very much. I do appreciate that. It's very nice of you to say that. By the way, happy birthday, Jim. Is it? Oh, yeah, it was Jim's birthday last week. And Jim put his retirement papers in. He is now a retired federal employee. He's an employee from the federal government that's no longer employed by the feds. So he is done. What did he do when he was done? He packed up the bikes and he did what every good retired person does. He hit the road. And he's out in Arkansas somewhere right now eating some barbecue and singing the blues. So for blues and barbecues. Thank you. Busy week for me. Retirement, vacation, birthday. Be the Rider Pizza. Yeah, his retirement party's coming up here. So I would say everybody get in your cars, get on the plane, get on the train. However you got to get here for Be the Rider PA's retirement party. So and you get a hold of him for all the details. He will tell you where, when, and But great times. Yesterday I got to ride a few Indian motorcycles. Not my preference, but great motorcycles, Ty from Tennessee says. Indian motorcycles are absolutely cool. Here's the only issue I have with Indian motorcycles. If you want to go, and they're going, watch their brand, every bike they build, head to head with Harley, right? Harley comes out with the Lowrider ST. I guaranteed Indians will come out something that kind of looks like it, and they're going to call it like an Indian low tramp rider or something. I don't know. The only problem I have with this, when you go head to head with another company, cut your prices by about $2,000, right? You gotta go under their price. You can't meet their price. Come on, guys. If you want a Road Glide Ultra and it's or a Road Glide Limited on, it's $35,000, or you go buy the new Pursuit and it's $35,000. I guarantee you're gonna buy what you know. You know Harley Davidson. You're gonna buy the Harley Davidson for $35,000. That's just what you're gonna do. And many people have told me this over my course of riding, and I used to think it was a bunch of BS, but here's the truth of it. When you're riding down, you're on a trip somewhere, and you look to your right or left of the highway, you're going to see a Harley Davidson dealer. You are. And if you pull in, if you're having some kind of mechanical troubles, whatever, guys, even brand new bikes will break down on you. They will. Or they can, okay? Remember? So that's just the way it is. You have to be able to have somewhere to get that motorcycle fixed. How many Indian dealers? Now, they're getting better. Polaris is getting better. But how many Indian dealers do you see when you're on a trip from here to the West Coast? You're going down a major highway and you look right and left. You may see one or two, but you're going to see a Harley dealer off of like every third exit. There's a Harley dealer. Now, they may do that. Harley might do that because they want us to buy more poker chips. And I'm sure that's probably part of it, right? Or more t-shirts. But what I'm saying is, all honesty, you're going to have some help. There's going to be somebody to help you out. The only thing that makes me mad about Harley dealers, guys, we travel on Sundays. You are damned if you can find a Harley dealer open on a Sunday to give you any help. And when's your bike going to break down? Probably on a Sunday when you're out driving, right? Maybe you're coming home. You got to be at work Monday morning. You're 600 miles from your house. Kaboom, the bike breaks down. You call a local Harley dealer. Our store hours are Tuesday through Thursday from 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. Or no, Tuesday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. We are closed Sunday and Monday. Thank you for your continuing service and being a member of the Harley Davidson Dealer Network. Well, what does that doesn't help us out. Now they're closed Sunday and Monday. Now you're not getting back to work until Wednesday. Now you might be fired. Think of that. So yeah, these dealers, they need to be open on Sundays. Florida HD dealers open 7 days a week. Pete's 1800. That is awesome. That's what it should be. Every place, everywhere, every place, everywhere. And I know, I don't want to work on a Saturday or Sunday. I don't. But I also don't want to work in the evenings. But sometimes our place, like the other night we had to work. We had board meetings and we had to work until, 8 o'clock at night. We had to stay all day, 7 in the morning to 8 o'clock at night. And I know a lot of you working out there, that doesn't seem like anything crazily to ask for. But these dealers need to be open when people are driving. If you want to take Monday off, I get it. Just shut down Mondays, that's fine. No Mondays, okay. Maybe even Monday and Tuesday. What the hell? The weekends, people ride their motorcycles and they need your help, Harley Davidson. So if you're a Harley Davidson dealer out there, take word from me, right? Take it from my voice to your stores. Stay open. Take Monday and Tuesday off if you want, but stay open on Sundays. And have somebody there that can drive the truck with the trailer on to go pick up a stranded motorcyclist, because we do break down on Sundays. It just kind of happens, right? That's when we ride, is on the weekends. If you like, you have the HD dealership. You meet so many people, you meet new friends, and you get to some beer and popcorn and donuts. Our Harley shop doesn't have free beer, unfortunately. They do have free coffee. They do have free coffee, and the popcorn is absolutely bar none. Harley Davidson popcorn has to be probably just as good as most movie theater popcorn. Now they could use a butter machine, but hey, I'm just asking for a friend. So. But yeah, it's just so cool, so awesome for sure to go to a Harley dealer. And a few weeks ago, Bronco Ride came up with a question for us. So what do we think of the new, or what do we expect out of the new 2023 Harley Davidsons? And myself and Bob both said that we're not even looking for a new bike, right? We don't care what they come out with. There's nothing they come out with that we're going to go trade our motorcycle and buy a new one. Folks, my Harley is almost paid off. I can see the end of the road there. The last payment is coming very, very near. That means that I'll have a title in my hand. It will go in a lockbox. And at this point, right, it's all, at that point, the whole entire motorcycle is equity. I could take it out. I could sell it outright. I could trade it off. I could trade it and buy another motorcycle if I want to do that and get back in another 5 to 7 years worth of payments. I just don't have that in me. I do not have that in me to do that. My motorcycle has 28,000 miles on it. So roughly 28,000 miles on a 2018. It's not even broken yet. And that bike is perfect for me. I love it and I love riding it. So why am I going to change that? Right. Plus I got a lot of time and effort in it with all the HD or all the LED lighting, all the upgrades I've done to it and putting all this equipment on it and handlebars and seats and blah, 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 blah. Well, I don't want to change that. Maybe Harley Davidson needs to start an urgent care network. That scooter and sticks, that is awesome, man. That is an awesome thought. I think that's what they need. HD here is open Sunday but closed on Mondays. That is awesome. That's what they need. Open on Sundays, closed on Mondays. I think our local Harley Davidson dealer here is now open through the summer months, which is fine. I get it. You don't need to be open on a winter months. You can close Saturday and Sunday for all I care. But in the summer months, I believe the one Harley shop is open 7 days a week. I'm not sure the other one in Pittsburgh is or not, and I know the one in West Virginia is not. They're closed Sundays and Mondays because Jim needs a couple days off. Be the Rider PA retired, and then he went to work now for Harley Davidson. So now he's a Harley Davidson distributor, dealer. He's not a dealer. He's a salesman. He's a test rider. He does all this great stuff with them. You said that you was here. We had fun with them at the Roadhouse. Gene Kelly, real Jackie boy. Yes, it was fun. Just trying to catch up here. Good morning, Gene. Kelly, nice to have you on board there with us this morning. Good to see everybody coming in there. Steel City is open on Sundays and closed on Mondays. Valley's closed on Sundays and Mondays. Yes, be the right pay. Thank you. And I kind of figured that's what it was. Lolly Llewellyn said Harley Davidson popcorn is the best. The moment you talk about trading in the proximity of a bike is when the problem starts. And also on my motorcycle, I bought a extended warranty on it, right? So it was 7-year warranty I bought on that bike, or 6 years, 7, maybe it was 7, 2, 5, yeah, 2 years on the bike and 5 plus. That's 7. I think it's maybe 5. I don't know. Regardless, I still have warranty on my motorcycle, so why would I trade it in? It's still covered, right? There's nothing wrong with it, knock on wood, because we don't want anything to go wrong with the motorcycle for sure. Be the Rider PA says stop in to see him at Valley Motorcycle. And if you mention I subscribe to Be the Rider PA, you will get 20% off of any motorcycle in the showroom floor. He will make sure of that. Just subscribe to his channel and like and give a thumbs up, give a thumbs up and like every video and comment on every video. And he will give you 20% off of any motorcycle on the showroom floor. Remember, you heard it right here at Coffee with HDR. Guys, real quick, I got enough people in here. Some people are moving on out there this morning. I understand that. But my Senna 10C Evo is going to be up for sale. So if you're interested in a 10C Evo, EVO, okay, very hot camera and communicator. Plus you can record all the audio from everybody riding with you. It is for sale. So I'm selling it at a low price of $280. Brand new, they're still selling for $350. So I'm selling for $280, plus you're going to pay for shipping. So I figured $295 will take it. So the first $295, if you message me on Instagram before I put it on eBay, you will have the first shot at buying it. The 10C Evo. Now, it doesn't come with a memory card, and it didn't come with one when I bought it, but you'll have all the cables in there. All the head pieces are good. And I believe I have 2 head pieces, and we'll talk about that, about putting that in there. Maybe 20 extra bucks for the extra setup. The way that works is you can put on different helmets. You just click the thing on, and you can have it on different helmets. I do think I have that here, but irregardless, the Senna 10C EVO, again for $280 plus shipping, so $295. And if you want it before it goes on eBay, contact me. You can PayPal me the money. You can Venmo the money, whatever you want to do to get me the cash. Once I get your payment, then I will box it up and I will ship it out to your house. And I even believe I have the box for it, so should be in the original box. So for sure, if you're interested, Tennessee Wingman, 10 Wingman, good morning to you. Glad to have you on board there. But yeah, so other than that, I wanted to throw at the end of the show there, and I do appreciate everybody. Wild on 2 Vlogs, good morning. Glad to have you on board there for sure. I am thinking of getting another with Paul in a week or 2 during a trip on Cumberland. Paul will reach out and see if you're... Oh, cool. Okay. Real Jackie boy. So yeah, tell Paul to reach out to me. Let me know. We can work out that deal for sure. And it'll be packed up and I'll send it out to them. Sorry, folks. I think riding season is over. I've been seeing too many deer on the road lately, Gene Kelly says. Deer in rut right now. So, give them until about November and they'll be done with all that crazy sex stuff. You heard it here. All right. So thanks everybody for watching. I do appreciate you, coming in here each and every Saturday. Again, like I said, I am trying to get more videos produced. But to do that, I got to try to get the motorcycles out of the garage. I do have a garage video that's coming out. I got to film that yet and put that together. But thanks, everybody, for tuning in here with me today for another Coffee with HDR. And I hope you come back next Saturday to see me again and hang out for a little bit more chatting next week. If you're interested in the Senna 10C Evo, by all means, send me a message on Instagram. Get a hold of me on Facebook somewhere, somehow. I'll give it about a week or so. I don't have to sell it that fast. And then I'm going to pull up on eBay and just do a buy it now so somebody will just pick that up. So, all right. Take care, everybody, and I will see you back here next week. Until then, remember, ride your ride. Be safe out there. HDR, be down and out with our beautiful friends from Custom Dynamics and the HDR Custom Dynamics studio here in southwestern Pennsylvania. Ride safe out there and have a great week. Bye for now, everybody.